It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up. Welcome. You're listening to Bucked Up with Sam Buck.
Fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you have fucked up.
Now put your hands all over me.
What am I supposed to know here?
Oh my god.
Come here.
Is that where we're, I guess? I don't know if we're going to keep that in, but welcome to the Bucked Up
Keep
Pod.
it in. Keep it in.
Welcome to
If
the...
you get rid of that, you're going to have to get rid of half the shit I say. So
That is
you're going to
true.
have to keep that in.
I guess there isn't. This is just a train ride shit show of a podcast, and I welcome you on it.
Thank you.
You're like a legend in the scene. I knew about
What
you.
scene? What scene? You call that riffraff in Rhode Island a scene?
The Rhode Island, Cape Cod and Rhode Island. That's where you're a legend. The two biggest scenes in the East Coast.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm nobody now.
You're a New York comic.
I'm a yeah. Oh yeah.
You're
I'm a nobody here.
Does that feel good?
Yeah.
You're so long into it.
10 years.
10 years. It shows.
Yes.
Are you?
Thank you. I got some gray hairs and shit like that.
You look like you would age worse than you do. You look pretty good. You look like a young Santa Claus.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You need Mrs. Claus in your life.
Yeah, a young Santa Claus. That's nice.
It
Got
is.
his whole life ahead of him
Exactly.
before he settles for a dead
You're
gonna
be in charge of so many midgets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're called elves.
Are we not allowed to call them midgets who make toys anymore?
I don't think any midgets like being called midgets, and these midgets get to say, "No, we're really elves."
I mean, that does all of my audience are little people.
Get the fuck out.
It's children and little people. That's who I attract.
No.
I mean, that's a weird
shit.
way. I shouldn't say I attract the children. That's not the way to say it.
I mean, well, when you're doing what you're trying to do, you do. When things are working,
You should be
when you get a good deal on taffy, that's what you do.
taffy and fudge.
Taffy and fudge.
I'm not a taffy guy.
You're not a taffy guy?
I'm not a fudge
It's probably
guy.
because you're not 87 years old.
You would think that old people would hate taffy because it's so hard on your teeth.
Yeah.
But because
How do you think they lost their teeth? Eating taffy.
the taffy teeth genocide of the 1930s.
Yeah. It's like, hey, look, we didn't find out carbs were bad until recently. For a while, people thought it was healthy to eat taffy. Like, yummers.
It tastes like strawberry. That's the same as eating fruit.
It says strawberry right on the wrapper.
Comedy is not a good way to be healthy because the only thing
No.
you can get after a show is fast food.
Yeah. Also, it's not a way, or wellness is another word I'm learning here in New York.
Wellness.
Wherever you can buy kombucha, they're going to talk about wellness.
The next time you go back to Boston, you're going to be fit. You're going to be ripped. You're going to look like
I already fucking feel better. I'm not even kidding. Just walking around all the time.
Your skin looks healthier.
I'm sleeping better too.
Are you?
Yeah.
It's not on a couch.
I'm walking at least 2 miles a goddamn day.
That's great.
All the time.
Is that the most fitness you've ever done?
No, I was actually pretty active up until maybe around senior year of high school. I stopped giving a shit.
Okay, I thought you were gonna be until 3 years. What was your sport? Tell me your
Basketball.
Really?
Yes.
You were good?
Yeah. I was the shortest post player you've ever seen. I was PJ Tucker before PJ Tucker.
It's okay. I don't even know who that is. It's crazy.
I forgot I wasn't talking to a man. All right, go ahead.
I don't know much about sports at all, and
No, you
you
don't.
know a ton about sports.
I know a lot about sports, not a ton. I used to be.
I
bigger
know a
into
lot
sports.
about sports, not a ton. I want to know the difference between a
A
lot.
ton is, I don't know. I guess they're both a lot. A ton puts a number on it, though. I'm vague.
What type? Which sports?
I like basketball. I like football, and that's about it.
Okay. Do you think you like sports because you wished you would play? You wish you could play it? Like, is that the appeal to sports?
That's not the why. They're both true. I like sports, and I wish I could, dunk a basketball, but that's not the why.
That would be you would go viral if you learned to dunk a basketball. Just a video of you fucking and Jordan.
I do think about that every now and then. What if I looked exactly like I do, but I was nasty in the NBA for some reason? I had a big gut, big pancake titties, just going around people like, I don't know what the fuck, man.
He's just so good.
Oh, he's at Fatburger every goddamn day. He smokes cigarettes. He smokes fucking cigarettes, dude.
He looks like he played. What's the other team that the Harlem Globetrotters always play?
The Washington Generals. I look like their coach.
You do look like the coach of. That's you. All right.
Come on! Just grab the
Shamil.
ball. He's flipping it all over the fucking place. Grab the goddamn ball.
You need a comic, an origin story of young Santa Claus who coached the Warrior. What are they called?
The Washington Generals.
The Washington Generals before. The
Why do
Washington
I
Generals.
need an origin story? Is someone writing a graphic novel about me?
Yeah, I feel like you could be a great like a graphic novel about you would go perfectly.
Really?
Yeah,
That's my life?
That's your life.
That's my life. Oh, okay.
You give presents to little kids, and you teach people how to play basketball.
That sounds so pedophile basketball coach
Yeah.
and giving presents to kids. Those are two red flags.
100.
Two
yeah.
complete red flags.
I used to.
I might as well drive a van with a cage in the back, for Christ's goddamn sake.
Do you not?
No, I don't. You can't drive in New York.
There's no seats back there. Just get in the cage.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I guess all right.
Yeah, when you kidnap kids, you just got to take them on the subway. If you're going to Brooklyn. I can't figure out any other way to do it.
Hey, self-help. You're learning how to sex traffic.
Yeah, I haven't put it together because I'm not one of those types. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Colombian.
With the Colombian. He said Colombian, not me. I did not say Colombian. He said Colombian.
Damn it! There go. I lost my little person audience and my.
I was gonna say Peruvian. All right, so he said Colombian.
Why do you have a hole in your pants the size of a dick right in the dick area? This just adds to the red flag.
It really does. They couldn't have seen that. You had to post it on. These are my favorite sweatpants, man. I have a problem getting rid of them.
I totally. But it's just. It looks like it's for something else. Like you walking. If you wore a trench coat and those sweatpants, you would be arrested.
Here's the thing. What you got to do when you have a hole in your sweatpants like this is just let people know you're not causing a stir. Face your crotch. Face your crotch like toward the door when you're on the subway. Don't just be walking around like, hey, look what I got here. What am I up to? Hey, sweetie, how you doing? Don't speak English. Doesn't matter to me. How you doing?
Back to being. God damn it.
What were we talking about? We're talking about a graphic novel, and then
no,
it
we
turned
were
into...
talking about you being in New York, being a newbie, but being 10 years in.
Yeah.
Do you wish you had moved to the city sooner? I mean, you moved during a
couldn't have.
pandemic.
I was a vicious alcoholic.
That is true.
Yeah, you never saw me when I was a vicious
I
drinker.
didn't.
You just heard stories.
That's the the great origin story of
95% of them are probably from Christakis, making shit up. Yeah, he crashed his car and killed like 1,000 people.
When did you start drinking?
I started drinking middle school.
Early, okay. I went through a really bad 4 years of drinking, but it was like 18 to 22.
What are you now? You're 22 and a half.
Yeah, 23 and a half. I did. I'm only a year and a half out of not having serious drinking problems. I remember I went to a concert. They wouldn't let me in. So I was just so drunk from the concert that I just got home. It was Four Loko. This was when Four Loko was a thing.
Four Loco's still a thing, my friend.
I know, but everyone has their Four Loko experience.
They got Four Loko seltzer now, which is just fucking hilarious.
Is that good? Have you tried? Oh, no, you don't drink anymore.
Yeah, I can't drink anymore.
How long since you've...
Oh, fuck. It's going to be 4 years soon. 3.5.
But you started in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Was it bad right from the beginning? Were you like, this is my thing?
I knew it was my thing, but it wasn't bad from the beginning. It's not like I've been in and out of rehab since I was 12.
You just have you're doing.
I got a
fucking,
DUI when I was 14.
You're doing
I got
addition
divorced.
problems.
I got divorced when I was 16.
You have a kid at 12. Yeah, you have a kid. You're fucking chewing fucking Twizzlers and smoking a cigarette. So, when did you start comedy?
23, 24 years old.
Oh wow. Did you like it growing up? Like, was that your? Did you always want to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Well, do you remember the first time you really like remember comedy?
George Carlin. And I'm trying to think which special it is. It's either You Are All Diseased or it was the one he did right afterwards.
How old are you?
I might have been younger than middle school, man. I don't really know.
Yeah. I was on my 10th birthday. I went to see Jim Gaffigan. He was very nice. And Jim Gaffigan, people don't remember, he was pretty dirty early on. Not super dirty, but he wasn't like clean food comic that he is now.
I don't... what are you talking about? How dirty could he get?
He wasn't super... I guess I see him as like a clean comic now, so then when I like go back and I listen to like...
He's never been squeaky clean.
No.
He'll make a sex joke, a dick joke, anything like that. Just mostly he talks about mundane stuff.
Like food. Yeah. He's like a more refined John Panette.
John Panette.
Remember the real big fat guy?
Yes, I do.
Who would always talk
him.
about buffets and he'd do it Asian accents.
Yeah, and he died for being fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ralphie May, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comedians who died from going back to you can only eat fast food after shows. A lot of comedians died from being fat.
It's McDonald's fault for not having tastier salads. That's what I believe. Sure, you have a salad, but I mean, are those like fresh croutons?
It really is. There's nothing healthy. Like, it's not good. I don't know why I tried to turn that into...
We're going to take you down a peg, McDonald's. That's what this podcast is all about.
Yeah, I just lost my sponsorship. Did you see how I tried to change the subject? I was like, I need to get those free fucking quarter pounders with cheese. I used to have a real McDonald's problem. Like, I can't go anymore because I used to go, like, I would go every day of the week.
My God.
And
it was McDonald's all the time?
No, I wouldn't go. I hate Wendy's. Burger King, not good. McDonald's.
Wow, that is strange.
I would get this is my order every day. Double quarter pounder with cheese, extra pickles, extra pickles. Large fry, Filet-O-Fish, 10-piece nuggets, large sweet tea. It comes out to $25.
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
swear to God, I can eat. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Where did it go?
Yeah.
I was fucking 270. I was big.
Oh, you were 270. You know what? That makes sense because you wear a lot of sweatshirts. You're like used to them. And I've seen you without your shirt, and yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, I am. I look like a melted action figure. Like if you took an action figure that could have looked good, and then you just put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds, and it just kind of...
Did you lose weight, like, just not doing the McDonald's thing?
That helped a lot. Heartbreak helped a lot. Just hating yourself, really. It's like that Tom Segura
That's what
bit.
McDonald's for.
Yeah, but the McDonald's can only fill that hole for so long.
Yeah, for, as long as you don't have a heart attack.
What's your fast food place?
Chick-fil-A is my favorite.
Oh, that is a good one.
That's
See,
so
that
good.
came in after I was like a fast food addict, so I didn't.
So you can't go to Chick-fil-A anymore?
No, I go to Chick-fil-A, but very rarely.
I see. Okay.
What's your order?
I always mix it up. I don't. I
Do
like
you have
mixing
big
things up.
orders like that? Like that's a lot. Like what I would order, I know looking back now is not a good amount of food.
I order the same thing at Taco Bell every time.
Taco Bell's fantastic.
Yeah. Not the same. I always get a steak quesadilla, and I always get one more thing, and it's like a big thing too.
I like the crunchy Supreme wrap. It's like a quesadilla wrapped in a burrito.
No, I have. That's not me.
That's not you. I
do something similar though. I do the what is it? It's like a taco wrapped in an additional tortilla.
Do you feel like you? Do you feel like food and alcohol is the same like love?
No.
Because I feel like I miss food sometimes.
Food is just pure sadness. Fast food's just pure sad. Like alcohol, there's like an edge to it. Like smoking cigarettes, alcohol, you're like, yeah, I don't give a shit, man.
Yeah, when
It's like that's why like alcohol is synonymous with and cigarettes are cool. There's nothing cool about getting a double quarter pounder with extra pickles. There's nothing cool about that.
It's your
extra pickles. Diabetes. Like it's just not. There's nothing to it.
that you could be the next Weird Al Yankovic.
Thank you.
Extra pickles, your first hit.
That sounds like a fucking album he would come out with, right?
does.
Extra pickles.
But there isn't anything cool about food.
No.
It's like
eating a big steak is kind of cool.
going out to a fancy restaurant and eating a lot at a fancy restaurant.
Yeah,
is cool.
that's cool.
I dated a girl whose dad was like a professional gambler. And he would like to ball at dinner, just be like, get all the, and that does feel nice when it's like, but you can't keep that up. Like, I'm not like,
I can't imagine like a worse job for a dad to have. I can't imagine a worse one. Other than like, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, I choke strippers. Who pays you to do that? They got money in their G-string, and
that's a pimp. My dad's a pimp.
I can't think of a worse job for a father.
A professional gambler.
A professional gambler.
If you're good at it.
If you're good, I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
I went to the casino for the first time with them. I was never, my family's not really into that. And I have that bug. The second I sat down at the slots, I was like, I just want to do this forever. Like,
yeah.
I definitely have a gambling, like I can feel it in my mind.
An addictive personality in general.
I can't believe you didn't make a Jewish joke right there.
I'm waiting. They don't. Your audience doesn't know that I call you a Jew all the time.
They don't.
But
I spoiled it.
Here's the thing, though. They do know that you're a Jew and that you're lying about it. They know that.
This is what I say. The amount of money I spend on rap hoodies proves I'm not Jewish.
You sell most of them.
God damn it. But did you ever gamble? Are you a gambler? Like, you're a sports guy, and I feel like those are sometimes.
No. Gambling is one vice, thank God, I avoided.
Do you ever bet on games?
$50 here or there.
Yeah.
I play blackjack's fun, but
yeah, no. It's this. I don't know why. They know it's true. It's like when you see a McDonald's commercial and you're like, that won't work on me, and then you're driving and you're like, oh, I want to fucking burn. Like they do work on you. It's like when you sit at a slot machine and it's bright and there's money being flashed.
Yeah,
at you,
there's science behind it. All the flashing lights, and they turn they give you less air for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
They take out some air on you.
All those sexy older women.
Mm-hmm.
They used to. Every woman. It's like airline stewardess and casino like bartenders are all women that were hot in their 20s, but just gave up on life.
You're surrounded by a casino. It's smoking. It's drinking. That's your life.
Yeah, they're a bunch of fucking.
All the prime rib and lobster you can eat
for $4.
For $4.45.
You ever been to Vegas?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Oh, it's not fun. It's so much walking. That's something I realized about Vegas. Is like you just have to walk everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
I don't really want that.
I don't know. I wouldn't. If I went to Vegas, I'd probably like to stay at like the hotel with the casino there and just gamble there.
What's that movie with Nicolas Cage?
Leaving Las Vegas?
Yeah. I could see you going out in a blaze of victory, leaving Las Vegas style,
Yeah, if I ever kill myself, that's the way to do it. Drink yourself to death.
and release your comedy album the week that you do it.
Yeah. No. I gotta leave it. No, I gotta do it after I die.
Oh, like have it just like sitting around on a file
That's-
somewhere,
And just tell someone, hey, release my album. Then it'll fucking blow up.
and then in your next life, you'll be like, "I'm proud of this.
Yeah.
I got this." Do you? Why don't you have an album?
I don't know. I wrote almost everything for this hour. I finally have an hour. I wrote almost all of it after I got out of rehab. So there was like no rush. It's not like I've been sitting on an hour for 10 years, you know?
Do you have a lot of lost jokes from the drinking time?
Oh, yeah. I used to write a new 5 minutes every week.
Did you not record any of it?
None of it.
You probably had so much gold in there that you could work with now.
No, if it was real gold, I would have remembered it.
Oh,
I
okay.
always remember the really, really good jokes.
Were you a good comedian when you were drunk?
No. Sometimes I would have good sets, but overall I was very inconsistent and
Did it build your confidence though? Because
no,
like that.
towards the end it's all maintenance drinking. Like towards the end it was really bad. I'm a better comedian now that I'm sober.
You are like, I mean, I've only seen you, but you are. You're confident on stage, and you can tell that you have time under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
You've always stuck to your. Have you all? Wait, were you always your style?
Yeah. Except for like the first 6 months or something.
What
like
was
that.
the first 6 months?
Bombing horribly every single time. Not only bombing, but like going, of course I bombed. The material's shit, and I'm just, I'm up there just begging for approval.
Do you remember your first joke that you ever wrote?
Yeah. No. I remember this joke. So the other day I was in my neighbor's yard, and I'm touching his kids, right? And their parents come out. They go, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Relax, I'm registered."
That's a really good joke.
Not bad.
But when you first start, you don't know how to like deliver it, right? Or did you?
For 6 months, I didn't even know how to write a joke. I wrote that one and a couple more like that later on, and they started hitting. So I was like, all right, I know what I'm supposed to do up here now.
You said you wrote the hour that you have after rehab.
Most of it. Like 75% of it.
Are there any like personal stories in it, or no? Is that not you
No.
don't do that?
I mean, a little bit. I talk about alcoholism, but I'm always looking for the joke. That's
Yeah.
all I want.
Yeah, I don't want to compare you to anyone because I feel like you're, as I'm about to compare you to people, you
Yeah.
know, it's like when you're like, this isn't, I'm not trying to be racist, and then you say something horribly
Yeah.
racist.
I'm not trying to be racist, but lawnmowers, Mexicans, can we call them the same thing? It's interchangeable. All right, look, I said I'm not racist. I said I'm
It's
not
okay
racist.
then, yeah.
I said I'm not racist
If you-
before I said the racist thing. It's okay.
It's all right. Mexicans, you know what you're doing. Okay, back. But like Dave Attell and Norm Macdonald too. It's like, have you ever read Norm Macdonald's book?
No, I heard it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but it's like a novel. It's like it's not a real true story, but then there's like little like you can tell there's certain things
Of course,
that
Norm
are
would do something like that.
yeah, and it's great. But that's like you
Norm,
touch on it.
Norm Macdonald, I love so much because I feel like he just wakes up and he's like, "Ugh, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I feel like today.
Is that is that one of your favorites?
He's one, yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Who else?
Dave Attell,
Mm-hmm.
they like you mentioned, but Patrice O'Neill, Nick DiPaolo, Dave Chappelle, Doug Stanhope. I could keep going.
Yeah.
Colin Quinn, Bill Hicks. I was big into George Carlin and Bill Hicks as a kid.
Yeah, but those make sense in your style, you know. At least it's funny that it is you stick to what like I don't know whoever I feel like I listen to is maybe not like I'm not a big Carlin guy or I'm not a big Hicks. I like them, but it's I don't like Carlin that much. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh shit! Hot take over here.
Because it's more.
Let's hear who you like more than Carlin. This will be.
Yeah, you're gonna get so mad. No, but okay. Like old school comedians, I fucking love Dice Clay. Like I think he gets. Oh, I love Dice Clay.
You know what? I like him more with age too. The more I go older, the more I look back in his old sets, I'm like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Some of it, it's just funny because of how crazy it is compared to today.
You ever seen him perform recently?
No.
He murders. I saw him in Vegas last New Year's Eve.
I heard it's not the same. He doesn't murder anymore.
I saw him like no one else was laughing as hard as me in the room.
Okay.
But to me, it was like I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I kind of said it the way that she had seen you do the show at the Red Nun. It was the first book show I'd ever done. You headlined at the Red Nun.
I remember you had a good set that night.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy you remember that. That was I didn't think you would.
No, I boggles my mind. To be
I know.
honest
I
with you.
never had a good set since. It was just a spike and then all downhill. But no one else, because when people don't get it, but when you get it, it's even funnier.
That's so true.
You know what I mean?
That
like
is so true.
Like seeing Christakis in front of a room that has no idea what he's doing, but you know that it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you. I didn't want to say it to your face, but you know, it's funnier for people who get it.
Yeah, I guess so. It's almost like you're part of an exclusive club.
Yeah. He was having a joke about how Japanese people mess up all like buttons, and they just because they don't want to, because they want to kill us with heart pressure. They want to like kill us long term, so they're like fucking things up. These fucking Japs are trying to kill us. And I'm howling, and people are looking at me like I'm a psycho, and I'm like, this is so like you don't get what he's doing. He's so fucking funny. Yeah, I like Dangerfield a lot. Like going
My
back.
headphones went out. Are we still good?
Yeah, we're still good.
All right, I can take them off too. I don't even care. Just making sure we're still recording.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Okay.
But Dangerfield, I love Dangerfield.
I gotta keep my toesies away from there.
I
look. Andrew Dice Clay is funny. He just is.
Mm-hmm.
He's just funny. Watch old videos. It's like you can call him a hack. It's like maybe a little bit, but he's funny.
Yeah. I mean, he's a hack in the way that like anything that gets popular is hacky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess there's no like I feel like I really do like Joe Rogan as a stand-up.
Yeah, he's not bad.
And
I should say that. He's good. He's good.
That's who I like when you were saying who's like I love Joe Rogan, Daniel Tosh.
Daniel Tosh's first special was great.
All three of his specials are great.
Let's not go crazy. I think
you don't think so?
No. I think they all had their moments. The first one was his best, and I think if he hadn't gotten the $25 million deal to do his show, if he wasn't set for life, he would have been in a fucking like one of the best comics like ever.
That is true. But his last album I thought was his best.
I heard. Yeah. I mean, he's still a funny guy. And
Did you
everything.
listen to it?
I did.
The joke about wanting to find his girlfriend cheating is just a really. I like
I
how
don't
real.
remember it.
I like how real he gets too, but without he like walks the line. You know, back to what you do. You don't do the personal stories, but you talk about like. You know what you like. People can tell that you're not like bullshitting on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Which.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just kidding.
No, I was grabbing
That's-
water.
Yeah, not for what I'm saying.
What were you saying? Go ahead.
I was saying, do you ever feel like you want to tell stories of your past?
No.
It's just not your style.
No, I've been doing this long enough where I do what I want to do, and I do it because that's what I want to see.
Yeah. Do you write your stuff, or is it all in the moment, or like in your head writing?
Yeah, it's all in my head. I don't even write my sets down or anything like that, to be honest with you.
Do you record them now?
I record them, yeah.
Do you
I
listen to
record
'em?
everything, and I listen to them, yeah.
Do you think that's one of those? Do you think that is a really beneficial set? Is listening back to your?
Absolutely.
What do you feel like is the things that
In
help?
fact, I should be video recording myself and watching that. It's if you want to do this like seriously, you gotta record yourself. Period. End discussion. You have to listen to, and even the bombs.
Yeah, that's the word. Oh,
I know. Listen to the bombs is tough.
But the audience listen to the bombs. You should be able to listen to the bombs
That's a good
too.
point. Yeah.
You know, like you made them sit through it, so you should be able to sit through it.
Mm-hmm.
Time feels so long, though. It's like, you know, when you're hearing yourself fail, it feels so much long. Like time stops. Like it's not a real construct in that moment.
Yeah, and it's only 5 minutes sometimes, but it's just like, oh, I can't even fucking finish it. It's just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes at a mic, and you're like, whoa.
The bombings, I like bombing at places where the audience doesn't want to hear me, like dive bars. Like that's fun, but not bombing to like a real comedy audience.
Yeah, well, that's obviously the worst. Bombing in front of it at like a club.
Do you?
That's a next level type thing.
Well, how do you feel about clubs that don't? I don't want to name clubs, but you know, like that are real comedy, but might not get what you're doing. Do you try to stay away from that, or do you try to like, all right, I'm going to figure out a set that might work at the studio?
I always try to perform anywhere I can and do well anywhere I can.
Do you change what
I was
you're
doing the studio a lot before COVID happened, actually.
Yeah, were you changing your setup to do there?
Not changing. I was just I wasn't taking chances that I would have normally. Like I'd be like, all right, I'd start slow, get them on my side, jokes that aren't really that offensive, then ratchet it up a bit, keep ratcheting it up to where I've earned so much. If you're doing really, really well, you can get away with murder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Every now and then, actually, that's not true. Sometimes I crush for, 90% of the set, and then I go, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And the last joke, they're like, Jesus.
Yeah, you can't. You end on the worst, and
Yeah.
then you just have
It
to.
does happen, but for the most part, if you get them on your side enough, you can get away with almost anything.
So you said listening back to your set. What else do you think is really beneficial to like taking it seriously?
Getting up at least 4 or 5 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in New York, you should probably get up more.
Are you able to do that right now?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I think there's a mic you can go to every night, but some of them are on rooftops, and it's literally negative 12 degrees up there.
Yeah, and you're like, what's the?
Yeah, what's the point? Like, no one else is going to be there. It's going to be 4 comics.
Is that like? Would you rather do that or a Zoom mic?
That. I'd rather risk hypothermia than do a Zoom mic.
Yeah, it's not. There really is a disconnect when you're not like the energy
It's
between
pointless.
people. Yeah.
It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. And apparently they're supposed to hit some button and laugh for you or something. Like I don't know. It's just who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Why is anyone even doing this?
Well, do you think this is a weird? But do you like that makes me like energy is real because you need people there. Like you feed off of. It's a conversation. It's not like a monologue. Like there's a reason that you're feeding off of their reactions. You know when you go up on stage for the first time and you're just like, who is the Pockets was saying this? It's just like you're reading a weird manifesto. It's like you don't realize it's a conversation. So you're just like writing a monologue that the audience is like, what the fuck is he doing right now?
Yeah.
And you don't realize you have to like pause and wait and take time.
Yeah. You don't figure that out. The only way to figure that out is just to keep doing it over and over again.
That's the only advice is to just keep putting in as much time.
That's the only good advice there is. Just keep doing it over and over and over and over again.
Also put as much as much time.
And if you do it a lot for a long time and you still suck, quit.
Did that so I feel like the dark joke, it was like really big, and then like 2016 to 2020 it probably dropped. But I feel like it's coming back. Like people like more darker stuff again. I feel like people are lightening up. because the world isn't as easy as it always. I mean, it's pretty easy.
It's not. It's not about whether or not people like it. I mean, are there that many different people on Earth than there was from 2016? You know, it's about okay. Hold on. Let's stop attacking it for a second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like people don't feel I think as guilty laughing at a.
Well, you're known behind the scenes for you did it to me. Like you're a very like not hateful guy. Like you'll not call people out, but for being like, all right, you can say something else. Like it's not on stage. People don't get that it's like.
Yes. I mean, look, a lot of people understand it's like a magic trick, for Christ's sakes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's
Black
an
people are
illusion.
going to be surprised.
Yes. Yeah. There we go. You better hope those jokes are coming back, you sick puppy, you.
Yeah.
You better hope.
I know. Whoever thought that I'd be the one on the episode that would be getting in trouble.
You
Yeah.
crossed the line.
I crossed the line.
You crossed the line. Yeah, it's just people understand a joke's a joke, and they don't want to say anything because it's not worth getting into an online fight.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been on an online fight in an online argument?
I really try not. People try to get me into them, and I try not to.
It's pathetic. It's such a
it's-
sad existence. Like my buddy Tilson just put something out on TikTok. He was making fun of people who believe in what's Aquarius.
Oh, astrology.
Astrology, and
Mhm.
people are literally telling him to kill himself. Of course, you're a white male. You're a piece of shit. White men shouldn't do comedy. These are all like real things that are just written. Sexist pig monster.
But they're just. Do you think they're like unfunny people?
They're losers.
Exactly. They couldn't if they're not quick enough to come up with a good thing to say.
Well, it's a real sadness. It's got to be in someone's life to tell someone they don't know to kill themselves.
Can I be okay? But can I be honest as someone who's not a fan of sports, and I don't know how invested you get into it, but I feel like people who get so invested in sports, it's like you realize it's like that's not your life. Like,
Yeah.
why are you investing so much energy into this?
Well, you need something else. Look, if you invest more in it than you do your job and your kids, then it's an issue.
Yeah.
If it's like family, job, then sports, sure.
But when it's like college football,
Yeah.
fucking baseball, beer, wife, kids. That's not
Well, that's a whole separate issue.
college football.
College
you a
football,
homo?
beer.
Why are you watching young boys
Honey,
run
I'll
around
pick up
and
the
sweat?
kids. I'll pick up the kids after I watch a game at the bar. I've told you time and time again. It goes college football, beer, then those shitty kids we had together. Shut up. I told you to shut up.
Jessica. The name is always Jessica.
Okay, Jessica.
There's a lot of white trash Jessicas.
These Miller High Lifes aren't going to drink themselves.
The champagne of beer, you
yeah,
mean?
yeah, that's the best shitty beer in my opinion.
I liked Natty Light when I was because you can just drink so many of them.
And they are super high in alcohol content, so I've done the whole Natty Light thing my damn self.
I used to mix them with a Natty Light with a Four Loko.
I used to like Ice House. Ice House is a nickname.
What's an ice house?
Ice House, well, it's like a Natty Light type beer, high in alcohol content,
oh.
easy to drink, like fucking $10 a 30 rack. And Ice House, they used to call Fight House. Because people would fight on Ice House. I've seen it happen, by the way, too.
Did you ever have an ice house fight?
No. I've always been a mellow drunk. I don't need to throw a fist around.
That's
But
good that you're
I've
not
seen
angry.
it. I've seen brawls happen around me. Like, what the fuck's going on? And empty 30 racks of Ice House all over the place.
I'm a very loving drunk to the point where it's annoying. It's like, all right, just sit there and
I
relax.
can be like that too, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's-
could be like that at times.
Yeah.
Most part though, I was fun. I was fun until I passed out. That's the
What was your drink?
well, in the beginning it was beer.
In college football?
Then I started messing around with hard alcohol. I was big into whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started drinking like wine and vodka a lot. Towards the end, it was just I had a plastic bottle filled. It was 1.75 liter, so a handle of vodka every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was your most?
No, sometimes I drank more than that.
What made you stop?
Well, I was drinking a handle a day. So at that point, you should know, like, oh, maybe,
Yeah, but
maybe I don't have this under
Was
control.
there something that like clicked where you're like, all right, this is...
Everything came together. It was a culmination of things. I was throwing up blood. I felt like my IQ dropped like 10 or 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just because it's like a temporary wet brain. I forget what they call it, but
Was it affecting your stand-up in a bad
it
way?
was affecting my stand-up, how I talked, how I could do basic math, reading and writing skills. Like my brain was a fog.
Were people around you aware of it being a problem, as big of a problem as it was?
Yeah. Most comedians, not so much, because I would just show up and I would do... Comedians would see it when I had a ride home or when I was staying over their place or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I would just go out to do a show, I would do my 3 or 4 drinks and drive home responsibly to a full bottle of vodka.
Yeah. Well, so I would drive a comedian from the Cape to Boston to the studio, and he would get really too drunk on the drive there because I was driving.
On the drive there.
On the drive there,
Get
and then
the fuck out. I might have a pamphlet for that guy.
he's gonna open up for you on tour. And he's actually disappeared since I haven't seen him since Christmas of last year. He's disappeared.
What do you mean disappeared?
Like he deleted all his social media. We found out that he gave us a fake name, and we had known him for a long time. Like just
What the
disappeared off the
fuck?
back map. But he would go to the studio, and he'd get there so drunk that he'd go into a New York savant from the 20s character, like an old Jewish savant and he wouldn't break character, even going on stage. I remember he once shattered a glass of wine and didn't break character, trying to clean up the glass of wine and figure out. And it was like...
And this guy used to get booked at the studio and I didn't?
He didn't get booked at the studio. He'd go to the open mic, and you know how they turn the red light on if you go too far?
Oh, they did it a lot
He
with
would
that fella?
stay on stage until they turned the lights off and cut the mic, and he'd still be screaming.
Oh, how many times do you get to do that?
5 or 6 times I've seen him do that.
At the same place?
Yeah, at the studio and I would be the one driving him, and I'd have to be like, I'm not responsible for this guy. I didn't know if you were caused a ruckus for the people around you.
No, not so much. I mean, a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of times. My buddy Ben Smith booked me to feature one time, and it was free booze, and I drank literally 12 martinis, which is insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of that's a lot of martinis.
Like a martini has 3 to 4 shots of vodka in it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I drank
12 of them. In a
10 to
short-
12.
Before you went on stage.
I think I drank 8, and then I got off stage and kept drinking. They kept serving me. I think eventually they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like this guy.
Yeah.
Free booze is... I don't know who thinks that's a good... This is going to sound bad because it's we're trying to be nice, but give drink tokens. Give 3 drink tokens.
Mm-hmm.
But free booze, you're going to have certain people who just can't handle that.
Yeah, well, that's because they're alcoholics,
That is true,
and you're
but
not responsible for that.
free booze... I do... Okay. You should be responsible in free booze. That's You think that's all right? You think free booze? I feel like most people would have not most people.
We'll give people 6 tickets then.
6. That's okay. 6
There you go.
tickets.
6
is
drink tickets.
all right. That should just be free.
That's fair.
That's free booze at that point.
Yeah. Not for me. If I had only had 6 drinks, I would have had a much better night.
Have you ever had drink tickets though, and then you just turn into a prison yard where you're trying to trade people for your tickets? You're trying to find
all
people
the
who
time.
aren't using their tickets anymore.
Yeah, Will Noonan used to come over and be like, "Here you go, big guy." just come to me, so I didn't even have to ask him anymore.
I think I actually really
Few people did that actually. I'd get because a lot of comedians are sober.
Yeah.
A ton of them.
Mhm.
So they'd come up to me, give me their drink tickets. I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I won."
I can't drink and go up on stage. I can get very high and go up on stage.
I can't. I can't get high and go on stage. I've been on LSD before and I did okay, but I can't smoke weed.
Are you sober from everything now?
No, I do edibles. I like doing edibles, and I did Molly recently.
Did you? I have never done Molly.
How come?
I like. This is gonna sound dumb, but I like the natural things. I like
Hey,
weed.
man.
I like mushrooms.
Get that Molly out of here, man.
I probably would do it, but it seems like a really long experience.
No, I.
If you tell me
didn't-
how it is, maybe you'll convince me.
I only had a little bit, and I just felt a little happier. Honestly, I even fell asleep afterwards pretty easily.
Really?
Yeah. So
Were you ever a drug guy, or was it just drinking?
it was mostly drinking, but drugs too.
Which ones?
Which ones you want to hear about, big guy?
Which ones were the one? Yeah, tell me the worst ones.
Heroin.
Okay. Was that during comedy?
Early comedy years.
Mm.
Snorted it twice.
Oh, only twice. It wasn't like
We talked about that in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Well, you know, poppy seeds come from the earth, man. I think you could.
All right, Alan, you've convinced me. Let's snort some heroin, Ani. Go out and get it.
Oh, Lord.
If you just yell on the streets of New York, you can probably find a little baggie.
Yeah, behind 6 people crying around a turd.
How? So you said you had like a temporary mush brain when you were at your worst. Did it
Mush brain, is that a medical term, big guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mush brain. That's
How
like
sensitive of
you
you.
said wet brain, and I thought that sounded too much.
Everybody love everybody!
It's like I can't. I was like, I just got canceled. I can't believe I just said that. God damn it! It just slipped out. That's how you know that I'm actually racist. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but mush
brain.
How
Luckily,
long?
the people who would be offended by mush brain can't use a computer, so you'll be fine there.
They're being taken care of by
Oh.
Dominican women.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're going to be pissed about the wetback comment. They're going to hop on the computer and fuck you over.
Oh, I just hit my tooth at the microphone.
Uh-huh.
I have a Puerto Rican flag on my hoodie. I'm not racist.
Yeah.
Go Shamil.
I stay at his house like all the time now.
I know. I did shout out to your podcast. That's no longer, but go back and
Dude,
listen
where's
to it.
my goat? Listen, it was a lot of fun.
I was
want
on
people
it.
to hear it just because it was so much goddamn fun. I had to quit it, but I can't promote it. But it was goddamn fun.
It was so funny. I really listened to it. I was on it, and I got blackout drunk on that.
Were you drunk from the beginning?
No, I wasn't drunk, but by
Okay.
the end, Tilson and I mixing McGillicuddy's and whiskey. Just shot of McGillicuddy, shot of whiskey, shot of
yeah.
McGillicuddy, shot of whiskey. I had to sleep on Shamil's couch by the end of it,
Sometimes I'm just looking around like everyone here is fucked up.
except for you. And then, do you miss it, or are you like, thank God that's not a part of my life anymore?
I mean, I'd like to be able to have a drink with my friends, but that's really about it.
Yeah.
That's really it'd be nice. Hot day, grab a cold beer.
Mm-hmm.
But I drink non-alcoholic beer whenever I really want to do that.
Which one's your favorite?
There's one called Athletic. It tastes like real fucking beer.
I like the Heineken Zeros.
Those aren't bad either.
They taste like Heineken.
Yeah, and I didn't love Heineken, but they taste like Heineken.
Yeah, I hate O'Doul's.
Doesn't taste like beer, yeah.
No, that's not good. And I hate the St. Pauli's. Is that what it's
St.
called?
Paul, yeah, those are the two worst. St.
That's-
Pauli's is probably the worst.
It tastes like absolute dog
Yeah,
shit.
it's so bad.
Oh, no, but I remember, okay, this is a weird story, but I went to a liquor store when I was sober, and I got Heineken Zero. And the guy thought that I was under 21, so I was like, when I walked up to the counter, I was like, Heineken Zero, like, I'm going to get, like, fucked up off the... I just made some joke about it, and he's like, let me see that ID. So I'm like... and I was like, I said, it's zero alcohol, like...
It's 0.0. It's like 0.5% alcohol.
Yeah, and he said, no, there's alcohol in this. And I was like, okay, but here's my ID. And he takes it, he goes, this is fake. And I go, No, it's not. Like, do you see my hairline? Like, this is not this is not a fake ID. Like,
Yeah, I went out and I got a fake ID to buy Heineken Zero.
You know what
How
I did?
did you see through my
I
plot?
actually had a good hairline. I shaved the V into it so I could go use this fake ID and look older.
It's fucking retarded. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so I'm like, no. And he goes, I'll let you buy them, but I'm taking one out because this is a fake ID. And he takes one, he opens it up and takes one out. And I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. Like, put the Heineken's here. Like, this is, he's like, but this is a fake. And he's like, well, I'm keeping this. I was like, dude, that's my ID. Like, give me my ID back. And so he was like, oh, fine, whatever. So he sold it to me, gets me the ID, and I turn, and I studied theater in school. And I get
the
real,
heck out.
And I get real dramatic, and I go, and you telling me there's alcohol in this? I have a problem, sir. Don't tell me there's alcohol in something that there's not. And I just stormed out of his store and never went back.
There is alcohol in there.
He was right, yeah. That when you said that, I was like, God damn it.
Yeah,
I was the winner in this story.
There's
That's
totally alcohol in there. You have to. I guess it's possible if you drink like 15 of them in like an hour.
It's like kombucha. There's alcohol, small amounts of alcohol in kombucha.
Yeah, which I drink, by the way, every day now.
You just
Swear to
chug it
God,
all
I drink
day.
kombucha.
It's
all
very
the time.
good.
Yeah,
You
I'm
said
starting
you're
to like
feeling
it.
healthier.
It depends. You got to find one you like. I found one that's called peach lavender.
Ooh.
I really enjoy.
See, I love those fruity drinks. And I mean
Yeah.
fruity flavor-wise, not fruity like...
That's the same thing. That's what you were about to say. It's the same thing.
It is the same. But I like kombucha. Like, I like fancy teas and stuff.
I'm not a big tea guy, but kombucha I can do.
Why?
Well,
Is it because it reminds you of alcohol?
No.
Like beer? It's like a fruity beer?
No, I just found... I was just told how healthy it was. So it's $5 a pop, by the way. Those things are not cheap.
No, they're not at all.
They are not cheap, so they better be good for me. But I figure, all right, they're this good for you. I'll just, suck them down, and now I like them. I like a bunch.
Do you want to be healthy? Like you're talking about walking every day and drinking kombucha?
Yeah,
like,
I'd like if it was easier to be healthy.
It is not easy.
It is not easy, especially in New York City.
Because it's just like free food, 99-cent pizza everywhere.
99-cent pizza. Everything's so expensive. You can walk everywhere, that's good. But eating healthy, I think is harder.
It is hard because it's also...
Especially if you're out all the time. And that's the only reason to live in New York. If you live in New York and you spend the whole time in your apartment, then why the fuck are you paying so much in rent? Go to Wyoming and fucking live like a king.
That is true. You're just out and about all day?
I
do you
try
have
to
like
be, yes.
4 people in like bunk beds?
No, I have my own room.
Oh, that's nice. All right.
I have my own room.
that's something. That's a real thing. You have your own room.
It's a small room, but I'm fine with that.
You don't need space.
No, I really don't.
You're not homeless,
You know
and
what?
you're not.
People live here.
I have, this would be amazing. I'd love this place right now. I don't know if I want to share it with another person, but if it was just me.
Do you and I want to go in on an apartment like this? We'll cuddle in bed. We can.
No, we'll just have to sleep at different times.
He's a day shift and night shift.
That's what we'll have to do.
All right. I'll sleep during the day. Okay, I don't want, but I called Al Christakis, former guest, at 4 p.m. one day, and he's like, I'm just waking up for the day.
He reminds me so much of a young me.
Was that you?
He's a young Fitzgerald.
This is what I mean about it's hard being...
I love sleeping in. It's my favorite thing to do is to sleep in.
That late, though, after 11, I'm like, I'm a piece of shit.
No, no, dude. After 4 is fine. Later, the better. I mean, I can't do it because I want to get up. I do want to go to bed before 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So if I stayed up till 4 p.m., then it's not going to happen. I don't like going to bed when there's still light out. When the sun starts coming up. That's bad.
Yeah.
Then I feel like a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if I sleep in till 1 or 2, oh, it's wonderful.
No, I don't. That's where my being healthy is hard for me is because those out. I have to do something in the morning because I feel like a piece of shit. And I feel like if I go one morning of sleeping until 2, then I'll do another morning of sleeping until 2, and then
Yeah,
I'll
it's a
just
vicious-
I'll just
yeah.
be this like. I used to play so many video games, eat McDonald's every day. Like I lived that life. Like I lived that life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I like about small apartments, and I was just stuck in a dorm room, very close to where you were, in a very small room, just drinking and playing video games.
Very close to Brooklyn?
No, in Norton, Massachusetts.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We were next door neighbors.
We were.
We didn't even know it.
I know. I went to college, and you were in your own college.
I was in my own college.
You were in.
I was, yeah.
You had a degree in
Yeah.
not drinking vodka every day.
Yeah, that's what I earned my degree in.
You have a piece of paper hanging up on the wall.
Yeah.
Did you ever do AA and stuff?
They make you go to like 100 meetings.
Okay. It's very religious, right?
Yeah, they say you need a higher power is a thing.
Do you feel that?
No.
Are you atheist?
No.
Yeah.
And I just say that because what atheists are now. It's just annoying as any church ever was. No. Here's the thing. Beliefs can change all the time with new information and just with a new perspective on life all the time. So I'm always evolving on things like that. I'm never set in my ways. I don't think I know anything for sure.
Did Molly help that at all? Do you have like a?
I was doing mushrooms and acid long before Molly.
Okay, that's why I didn't know if Molly was your
Yeah.
first. So so you do understand all that. Have you ever done DMT?
No, but
I'm
going
gonna turn into the new Joe Rogan. I'm just gonna ask every guest if they've done DMT by the end of it.
Do you have DMT?
No, I don't.
Do you do it?
I've done it once.
I wanna start doing it.
It's like a thing you do it once, and then you're like, I don't think I want to do that again. But
Well,
it was
let's
very
see.
beneficial.
Let's test this addictive personality of mine.
That is true. I don't. But it's weird. It's not like a. Do you know about it at all?
I know it's supposed to be like mushrooms on steroids,
Yeah. So it's the thing that your.
but it's only 15 minutes.
Yeah. So it's the thing that your pineal gland. It comes out. It's produced in your pineal gland. Every living thing, including trees, has DMT in it, and it's the thing that's produced when you're born and when you die.
No shit.
And so when you
Is it all the same DMT too?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it's when you hit it, you go to that place, that dimension that you go to before you're born and after you die. It's really just shapes and stuff, but your higher power.
But it's only 15 minutes because God realizes you're cheating.
Mine was only 30 seconds. He was literally like, I shot up there. I left my body. I shot up there. He was like, you're good. You're on the right path. Just like focus, he didn't tell me to do the podcast, but he was like, do the things you know you're supposed to do. And then 30 seconds later, he shot me back down, and I was like,
What the fuck?
and then I was like, oh, great. I know I'm going to lose
what
weight.
the fuck?
I got over a breakup. I lost weight. I started the podcast.
You joined the clan too, though.
That's why I can't wear I'm wearing hoodies.
He's out.
He's
He's out now. He had to do another hit of DMT, but
You're the first one knocked me out.
can you imagine that? Dude, imagine if someone in the clan does DMT and with all their buddies, and they're just like, "What the fuck are we doing, guys?" With the robes and everything, and the fire permits, like.
Wait, but isn't that...
Nobody likes us.
No, I'm like, we're not even. There's this
Oh, I did it again.
There's this Is that? Oh, can you hear me?
Here we go.
All right. So there's this like religious. Don't want to say cult, but it's a cult in Plymouth, and it's also on Cape Cod, and they all live together, and they own sandwich shops, but it's like Amish with technology.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're out of Plymouth.
Yeah, I was thinking of becoming Christian without the Jesus. Yeah.
I want to be Muslim, but I still want my clit. Sorry, I don't. What is happening to me today?
You're trying to impress me. That's what's
I know,
happening.
that is. This is.
And it's not working. I'm like, that's not cool.
You can't.
That's a real problem. Female circumcision's a real issue.
It is. Are you circumcised?
Yes, I am.
Show me in that hole. Through the hole in your pants.
No.
No.
You're just gonna have to trust that
I
some.
thought you were gonna do. You have to just feel it out.
No. I am, and I too actually had it removed by a Muslim guy with a rock. I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel the pain. So many women in the Middle East feel.
This is. You wanted to understand.
Yes, I wanted to understand.
Do you?
Now, oh yeah, I know.
You and I both got from our colleges right next to it, minors in peace and social justice.
Absolutely. They don't offer that at rehab. They're like, just stop shooting heroin into your eyeball, and then we'll talk about degrees.
Did you see that Marilyn Manson has multiple swastika tattoos that came out today?
Multiple?
Yeah, he has one here.
Just in case you didn't get the point from the first one.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's sponsored. He gets $100,000 from Brazil every time. He gets a check in the mail from
that's
Hitler.
funny.
No, but yeah, I don't. Why? That's the reason I brought up the religious sandwich cult in Plymouth. Is like these places want to grow, so why don't they change? Like, have black people in your cult, but be mean to, I don't know, like be more accepting.
Wait.
Like,
So these people, they just own sandwich shops, and they don't. And that's what I heard. Did you skip over the not allowing black people part, or
no, they're just very. It's very white. It's very Christian. It's like, why aren't they more inclusive? Like,
well, are there a lot of black people like, yo, man, I want a job at D'Angelo's? Or... Like, are there a lot of black people signing up?
You know what I need? I need my D'Angelo's to also be in connection to my higher power.
No, but seriously, though, do black people even want to join?
No. And I was a bad example. But, okay, I would say even, like, gay people or trans people who want inclusion in a group. I know they do, but, like, why won't you be, why not be loving to everyone if that's what you're trying to preach? Because you're gay. Those people are closeted homosexuals who don't like gay people.
I mean, that happens. I doubt the whole religion's like that. I mean, maybe the first guy who started it's like, oh, I hate gay people, but I'm gay. All right, no one's gonna be allowed to be gay in my fucking turkey BMT cult I got going on right now.
Turkey?
No one's allowed to be gay.
No one's allowed.
And I don't think most of them are gay. I think they're taught to hate gay people.
Okay. I don't. Do you think that's true? I do feel like.
I mean, why else would you live with such a bad haircut? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense.
But I feel like racist people are just kind of like jealous of black people.
Racist people are jealous of black people.
Yeah. Like, they got big dicks and are good at sports. Like,
perhaps, maybe. Yeah, they probably... Look, a lot of them probably... Like, really old people remember the NBA when it was all white guys with belts and crew cuts. So you might be onto something there.
That is why... Sports must have been so different when it was all white people.
Yeah. It was much less inclusive, believe it or not.
Do you think... Okay, this is a weird parallel. Do you think like pop comedy now is like the whites only baseball it's like it's not, you're not letting everyone, if everyone was able to be in it, it would be a lot better.
What do you mean by pop comedy? I don't understand the idea here.
Like the idea of, I guess, pop comedy in the way of not a stand-up, but like sitcoms and like movies can't be as fucked up as they, like you can't, they're like, be as nice to, like you can't punch. I don't know how to explain it other than it's like softer.
I know what you're saying.
It's like softer
like Marvel's
comedy.
got like 9 gay superheroes now. And
yeah, it's like whites only baseball is soft baseball. You know, it's like you know that you're not as good, so you're like playing it with a handicap.
Okay, so yeah, and you're excluding talent.
Exactly. And I feel like that kind of happening. Like even, I don't know, like Sam J gets a lot of hate, and it's like, what are you talking about? Like, she's amazing and she's saying real shit, and she's not what the cookie cutter person, but she'll still get hate.
Yeah, I mean, and she's a pretty, pretty left-leaning person too. She doesn't stray too far from that stuff. It's just when she does, that's when she gets hate, and it just sort of shows you. I think the more like people like that seem to hate actual liberal people who stray every now and then more than they hate conservatives.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I study, like going to classes in peace and social justice, like having that, being in the belly of the beast. I'm like, I get that your heart's in the right place, but
you
it's
failed
so
that class
ignorant.
just for being a white guy, right? Monster.
It was a wild, like there were wild times where I remember I wanted to ask my teacher. I had a class called Black Lives Matter, taught by a white guy who was married to a white woman. But the class was called Black Lives Matter. And I remember I wanted to ask him how he felt about Milo Yiannopoulos. This is like when he was like a thing.
Yes.
And I was like, how do you feel about, like, what do you feel like he's married to a black man? Like, how do you feel? He goes, don't you dare mention that name in this classroom. Like it was Voldemort. He looks like Voldemort, but like he was Voldemort. And I was like, I get your heart's in the right place, but you really think this is what, like, that makes me want to go read him more.
Yeah.
That you hate him so much.
Yeah. That's why it's very short-sighted to do that, to ban people and such. Because that makes them more interesting. It just does.
Yeah. Do you think you will find better calmness in New York with that, where you don't have to worry so much about people getting all mad?
Well, you can always find calmness. You can just hang around with who you want to hang around with, you know. But are people going to get in the way of where you want to be? That's the issue.
Do you think Rhode Island gets a bad rap because do you think it's deserved of the rap that it gets?
Little bit, yeah.
And for people not understanding, people in Boston look at Rhode Island like it's like a darker, they're like hackier and darker.
For a while that wasn't true. Rhode Island had a really great open mic scene that would just destroyed Boston's for a long time, actually.
When did that change?
It's just a couple of years ago, maybe a year ago.
But I don't get why they don't. So I don't mean inside baseball, but it's like, why not do both? Like you saying you going to the studio and trying to kill everywhere you go. It's like, you should be able to do wherever you go, you should be able to try to figure it out. And you should be willing to take that chance.
Yeah, but an audience is allowed, to feel however they feel.
Oh yeah, they don't have to.
They don't have to like you.
I hate people who blame the audience for their bad set. It's like, no, I've seen people.
And the club, they advertise to a certain group, too.
Yeah.
So those people are going to show up. So
yeah, and I've seen people.
You have to read the crowd.
Yeah. One comic can do well and everyone else can bomb, and it's those comics' fault. It's like, you can win over any crowd if you're good enough. I've seen it happen, people not be in. I've seen fucking Langston Kerman win over a crowd more than I'd ever seen anyone. Like, there's just certain people can do it. You do that.
Sometimes.
You do. You're 10 years in. You deserve the notch in your belt where you're like, yeah, you put your time in. You never took any time off.
Just to get sober, 3 months. And
was that hard to get sober and get rid of your
Well, first of all, I wasn't supposed to sneak out and do it, but I did. Colleen Genevieve, she's in New York too. She used to pick me up at rehab and drive me to open mics, which are at a bar. So I used to go to a bar 3 times a week while I was staying in a rehab facility.
Was it okay? Were you able to do it?
I was not. No, if they found out, they would have kicked me out.
No, I mean mentally. Were you was it hard?
I honestly think I figured out pretty quickly I'm not going to drink anymore. I stuck around just to make sure it would stick.
Is it like the FOMO kind of? Fear of missing out?
FOMO?
FOMO.
I've never heard that before.
You learn something new every day.
Phony homo, you.
Yeah.
You fake gay. You're making it up.
You fucking. It's like
You
Momo.
FOMO. I'd never heard that before.
Like fear of missing out. Like I remember when I would like drink a lot to be like, well, if other people are doing, I want to like catch up and have as good of
No,
a time
I just
as
liked
those
drinking.
Mm.
I just liked drinking. That's all there is to it. I like-
That's all.
No,
it
there's
is.
not more. That's not.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's more to it.
No,
but,
of course, yeah.
you know, you don't just like drinking if you're drinking a gallon of vodka every day.
No, of course. There's something more than
You
that.
loved drinking.
Do you now that you're in New York? Do you think comedy is like your full? You're gonna try to make it full time, like.
That's what. Yeah, everyone's trying to do that. I don't know how soon it'll happen.
But you made the move, like you took that chance,
yes,
which is like a dive that you either make or you don't.
Mhm.
And I think more than anyone, people wanted you to make that dive. Everyone was everyone is root. I don't know, but like everyone I know is rooting for you.
yes. I got a lot of people who've been telling me to move to New York.
You got 100% on Dark Souls 1, and now you're moving on to Dark Souls 2.
I don't know what that fucking means.
I don't even know. I've never even played that. I don't know why I said that. I think Irish like channeled into my head from the other room.
Dark
And then
Souls.
It's like you mastered that area. You're done and you're on to New York and everyone is supporting you to move on.
Yeah. So yeah, I've had people tell me to move to New York for a while. So
And I'm happy you did, and I'm not ready to do it as a comic, but I do want to do it.
you know, yeah, put some more time in. Make sure you're getting up enough.
Yeah.
You'll be ready eventually.
Yeah, I just miss going up as much as I was able to before. Because before I was going up 11 times a week, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a pretty good amount.
It's nice. I love that. Like Al and I are from the Cape. Al Christakis, shout out, great comic. I've talked about him. But it's like we would have to drive an hour 45 just to do those sets. So we had to make it count. And we would drive every night to
Yeah.
do. He really, his drive is the thing that gave me like, oh, this is what you have to do. If you're doing less, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, I always see him, and I can tell when he just doesn't even feel like doing a set, but he feels like he just does it because he has to anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell when he's on stage.
Yeah. Or when he's sitting in the back of the room, just like,
Well, that's just because he didn't get a shot or something. Diabetic.
yeah, he
His
needs
fingers are falling
a
off.
pixie stick.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. I really had a great time, and I'm happy that you're here, and I hope to see you perform in New York. And
Look, man, spring.
I'm wishing for your success, too.
No, thanks. Appreciate it, big guy. You too. All the congratulations and everything with the podcast. And
Thank you. And it is cool that you actually were at my first open mic I ever did at Ying's, which is when I started seriously.
Ying's. God, what a joke of a mic that was.
that was
a
worst.
joke of a Cape Cod mic.
That's where
how
I
much of a joke.
started. Is
Oh my
Ying's.
God.
Like I would go there every week.
What was the deal with the guy who ran it? He was just like, "Oh, I love comedy so much."
No, it's the Asian woman who runs the bar at Ying, and she was like, if this is a way to get at least 3 people to pay for a dinner
Yeah.
on a Wednesday night, then
They
it's
have good food there.
I brought a girlfriend there. 2 times she got food poisoning, and I still would bring her there every week to go to the open mic.
Yeah. I don't want to eat here.
Like, I don't care. You're watching me do the same 5 minutes.
Just have some sushi, all right? Don't be a bitch. Just have some sushi. Now watch me and my 3 friends do the same 5 minutes of jokes that we do every week.
Yeah, that's Ying. And then you are at my first book
Don't
show.
break up with me. I'm out of DMT. I can't handle it.
I will turn racist. And then you are at the first one at the Red Nun. So I'm happy that you are on, and it's weird the journey that you've been able to see me start. And
Yeah, it has been a weird journey.
and you'll see me kill myself and quit. I guess it's the other way where you quit then
If
kill
you are
your-
going to kill yourself, do me a favor. Put it on YouTube for your fans to see.
Trust me, I need the views.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. You should follow him at Fuck City.
And don't let those big tech censorship sons of bitches take a video of you shooting yourself in the face off the internet. That's not their right.
No. You hear that, fucking Jack?
You hear that,
From
big
Twitter?
tech, huh?
Big tech. Let
Yeah.
me kill myself.
Let me kill myself online.
Get me some. I want to be monetized post death. Fuck City USA is your
yeah.
social media.
Yeah, I'm trying to build up my social media now.
You have the best handle.
I do.
Fuck City USA. Like you
That's the
getting
one thing I got going for me.
that is like you could make it just from that.
I got that late too. I got that like a year ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think that it's like as soon as people find out I have it, they're gonna be like, I can't. You can't do this because why else wouldn't someone have Fuck City USA?
No, there's other ones with fuck in it, but I think
Really?
yeah, because there's like a account fuck next week. Shout out fuck next week. Great clothing designer. But
Oh.
yeah, there's what's the podcast on gas that has fuck in it?
No fucking regret.
No fucking regrets. You're good. Fuck City USA.
Fuck City USA, Instagram and Twitter.
Also listen to, I know it's no longer, but listen to past episodes of Dude, Where's My Goat? Because it's a hilarious podcast
Okay, yeah.
with some
Thank you.
great comedians.
All right.
And Alan Fitzgerald. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.